inside some club. How many times you and I, we convey the message to him, and he becomes deaf and blind to the commands of Allah. And he spent years and years of disobeying the Almighty Allah. When Allah splits the heart and calls him in. How? Within a billionth of a second, when Allah splits the heart, in spite of the fact that he spent 50, 60 years doing wrong, all of a sudden now, Allah has given him the understanding, Allah has given him the hidayah, that all of a sudden now, this is the one that is in the full stuff of the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he's fasting by the day, and he's in prostration by the night. So when they looked down upon Umar, what did these people know at that time? That it is Umar that they are now mocking and saying, that this person will never embrace Islam. What did they know at that time when they looked down upon this man? That this youngster now was going to become the Al-Faruq. He was going to confirm that they were batil. And I relate this purposely because you that sit before me, that at this moment in time might not pray. At this moment in time may disobey the Almighty Allah. At this moment in time may not fulfill the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do not be disheartened, because when Allah splits the heart and He gives you the understanding, what I'm saying is that you need to know that you have a chance. You have a chance. It is so possible, just as Umar was the Faruq of that time. In these difficult days, one of you may become the Faruq of today. One of you may become the Faruq of today. What did they know that this Umar was now going to distinguish between Islam and Kufr, Haqq and Batil? What did they know at the time? That the dua Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would make and beg the Almighty Allah, Allahumma izz al-Islam, the Umar Ibn Al Khataab, or the Abi Jahl ibn Hisham, was going to be answered in the favor of Umar and not Abu Jahl. What did they know at the time? That the dream of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the dream of the Prophet is revelation. That the dream of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was going to become a reality which the whole world would witness. Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw a dream. People are being presented to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and these people are wearing shirts. Some of them have shirts to their chest, some of them slightly below this, some of them even below this. Umar is presented to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he's wearing a shirt which is glowing. And the Sahaba could not understand this. Umar and our people, and they asked for the interpretation. And Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gives a strange interpretation that this dream means Islam will spread to the east and west. Islam will become strong and spread to the different corners of the globe. This was the interpretation that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave to this dream at a time when people used to mock Umar and did not even believe that this person will say La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying that Islam will spread to the east and Islam will spread to the west. Come the 6th year after Nabuwah, and the kuffar are sitting in a gathering like this, and they are discussing who will kill this man Muhammad, who will assassinate him, who will put an end to this book, Quran, who will put an end to this new madhab, Islam. And Umar is present in that gathering, and with a sword in his hand, he volunteers, Yo Kafiro, do not worry, Umar will take care of this man Muhammad. He will kill him, he will put an end to Islam, and he will put an end to the Quran. After this day, there will be no Muhammad, there will be no Quran, there will be no Islam. And Umar was known for his courage and his bravery, even in the days of ignorance. And with his sword, he makes his way to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And on the way, he is met by Nu'aym ibn Abdullah, a companion of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who had already embraced Islam. He was keeping his faith a secret. And when he saw Umar angry with a sword in his hand, he asked, Aina turid ya Umar? Umar, where are you going today? Umar replied, Uridu Muhammad and al-Sadi. Today, I'm going to put an end to Muhammad. I'm going to put an end to the Quran and Islam. He turns around and says to him, Nu'aym says, أَفَلَا تَرْجِ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِ بَيْتِكَ فَتُقِيمُ أَمْرَهُمْ. You're going to kill Muhammad. Go home and take care of your own family. Your sister, she now says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Your brother-in-law has left the deen of his forefathers. He has also become a believer. He has also become an admirer and lover of Muhammad. And he declares, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Umar cannot believe what he cannot believe what he is hearing. How dare his own flesh and blood leave the deen of their forefathers and believe in this man Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He changes direction and now he turns to his sister's house and he gets there. The door is bolted. Sister and brother-in-law are sitting before the Khabbab radiallahu ta'ala an, and they are receiving lessons of the Quran. Khabbab is teaching them the Quran, and when he hears the voice of Umar, and then Khabbab puts away the Quran and he hides in some inner room. Umar knocks on the door. The door is bolted. It is open for Umar, and as soon as the door is open, Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu begins to beat his brother-in-law. He beats him so savagely that from head to toe his brother-in-law is covered in blood. He punches, he kicks. His sister cannot tolerate this. Umar is beating her husband, the very man that she loves, and she begins to push her brother. Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Umar begins to beat his sister, and he beats her so much, from head to toe she is covered in blood. But you know, at the end of the day, the ghairat that Umar had, the same ghairat his sister had. If Umar had ghairat for kufr, then his sister had ghairat for iman. And she turned round to Umar, and the same blood that flew in the veins of Umar, the same blood was in the veins of his sister. And she turned round and said, Umar, do as you please. My life is for Allah. My life is for Rasulullah. I declare, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, that there is no God worthy of worship, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Umar, you can do nothing to me. You can do nothing to my husband. You do as you please. You beat me as much as you like. You take your sword and you put me to bits. I will die saying La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, because now no blood flows in my veins. It is iman, and it is kalima, and it is the look of Muhammad, and it is the look of the Quran that is inside my heart. It is inside my bones, and it is inside my veins. Umar cannot believe what he is hearing. How all of a sudden this change in his sister, the very woman that a few days before would bow down before idols and would love these idols, the very brother-in-law that would make these idols with his own hands, all of a sudden, where has this change come from that they are now willing to give their lives for Muhammad? They are now willing to lay their lives for the Quran. He cannot believe it. He is wonderstruck. And when he sees the blood gushing from the face of his sister, at the end of the day, this was his own blood. This was his own sister. He feels ashamed. His eyes fall upon the pages of the Quran. He asks, let me see this Quran. This was the ghairat of the sister of Umar. He says, Umar, you are najis, you are fleet, you are impure. La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. This is our book. This is the book of Allah. And we believe only those that are pure can touch this pure book. You will go and you will wash yourself. Or only then will we allow you to look at the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala goes, and the historical narration suggests, not only does he purify himself, he takes a bath, and now the Quran is recited before him, and the reciter recites, طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على الأرض استوى له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وما بينهما وما تحت الصراع. Every word that is being recited before Umar is having an impact on the heart of stone. Remember, today my brothers, this is that very book that you and I, because of all this global pressure, want to distance ourselves away from this book. People say this is an old book. It is 1400 years old and it needs to have a change. And today, this very Muslim that declares La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, because of this pressure, he wants to distance himself from this Quran. He wants to distance himself from the Prophet of Islam. He wants to distance himself from the teachings of Islam. My brothers, this is that very book. It was a miracle yesterday. It is a miracle today. And it will remain a miracle right till the day of judgment. This is that very book. See, when it was revealed on Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of a sudden he became Sayyid al-Wuldi Ali Yawm al-Qiyamah wa la faqra, Sayyid al-Awwaleen wal-Akhirin, leader of the former, leader of the latter, leader of those that will be on the plane of resurrection on the day of judgment. This is that very book that when he was sallallahu alaihi wasallam was returning from Taif, He decided to stop at a place called Batr al-Akhla, and he wakes up for tahajjud. He engages himself in tahajjud, and he begins to recite the Quran in such a beautiful voice that a group of jinn listening, they just hear the recitation of Muhammad, and it has such a magical effect on them that they say, Inna sami'na Qur'anan ajaba, yahdi ila rushd. And in that very gathering, they declare, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. This was that very book, that when it was revealed in the month of Ramadan. Before this, Ramadan was just an ordinary month. And when the Quran was associated with the month of Ramadan, all of a sudden, this became Shahr Ramadan, alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. It became the most blessed